Alright, we are on the play with Rug Delver, and this hand looks quite nice. We don't have too much interaction, but we do have this bolt. And Delver into Delver is quite a nice sequence. We're just going to start off with an island, because we don't know what they're on. So that's pretty much the safest land we can get. Unless for whatever strange reason we're just expecting a bunch of land destruction and or spreading seas, because then basic island is not what you want to get, specifically with spreading seas. Seeing a hallowed fountain actually makes me kind of wish I didn't get the basic island, because 1, white decks tend to run Path to Exile, and 2, blue-white, we're going to show them that Dismember even though it's probably not going to be very good this game. Blue-white has been running a lot of Spreading Seas recently. The reason I don't like Island against Spreading Seas is if you go Island, Stomping Ground as your 2 lands to get all 3 colors, they hit the Stomping Ground, now you have blue-blue. If you get, say, Steam Vent's Forest, you either get blue, blue, blue-red from them hitting the forest, or you just get blue-green, which is usually better for us than having blue-blue. Hands in which I have, say, 1 land being an island, and then Serum Visions into the second land, being another island, are among the worst possible scenarios we can get. Now, against most blue-white decks, I think you want to flood the board early, and then hold back late. Because we're on the play, so we have quite a bit of time before Supreme Verdict can come down, and then we'll just throw a Curiosity on something. It'll be a good time. We're not going to fetch here because our life total is under literally no pressure, and I would like some free Delver Scry. Even though we do have the Thought Scour, but why waste the mana? That is not something that can transform a Delver. Is it something we want to draw? Probably not, but then we have to use this Thought Scour, which means I guess we just tap out for the Curiosity, assuming we don't draw anything better. That's okay. It looks like we're going to cut ourselves off of a color to use this Curiosity, though. So we're going to have to think about which color that should be. They hit us with a path, that's okay. Suddenly we don't have to cut ourselves off of a color. Let's grab a forest. Shoal makes me almost not want to use that Curiosity, and the actual draw is a Spell Snare, which makes me want to use the Curiosity. On turn 3 they can go Snap Path, which means Spell Snare gets a lot better, hit Snapcaster, but I could always Shoal, Snare to counter the actual path. They don't have too much 2-mana interaction that I'm worried about. There's always the case of, say, Helix. Lightning Helix could be a bit of a bummer. We're going to get a Steam Vents for the blue and the red. Curiosity goes here. So yeah, Lightning Helix will be a bummer, but I think we're just not going to play around Lightning Helix very much. If our opponent doesn't have an answer to this second Delver, we're probably in pretty good shape. If their answer is a Path to Exile, I am going to be giving up some cards. Yeah. Shocking is okay. That we will show. I would love to pay an alternative cost. Counter that, pitch that. Unfortunately, we're left with some removal against our assumably control opponent. But that's probably fine. Have they only played paths? We don't even know that they're on control. They could just be having a really bad time with like a Cheerios deck. Cheerios is the Pure Steel Paladin combo deck, in case anyone watching this does not know or is not familiar with it. Looks like control though. I would love to draw. Yes, please. It's a second Spell Snare. If we had mana up, that'd be great, but that's okay. Our opponent's at 11, which isn't actually low, but we've already fought through 2 paths. And we did connect once with a curiosity, which is nice. Do we have good things? We have very good things. Let's get rid of that mana leak. So, we're obviously attacking. We don't have anything proactive to do unless we plan on bolting them. So we're not going to do any of that. Snapcaster Mage, target path. Let's spell snare. There's a path anyways. Well, we can't stop it. Do we want to shuffle our library? We can have mana leak or something that isn't mana leak. I think I might take isn't mana leak. We do turn on their tech edge, so maybe we're not supposed to shuffle. They can hit our steam vents. That's probably not a huge deal, them hitting our steam vents. Hooting Mandrills. That seems like a good card to play after seeing, what was it, 3 paths? Yeah, our opponent used 3 paths. Should we play our 4/4? Probably. We have Delirium currently. I would ideally like to maintain Delirium, but we're going to delve 5, so we'll just get rid of the instance. I choose instance as the card type to get rid of because we have plenty. So we'll get rid of those 3 and 2 lands. And that'll leave 3 card types in case we do top deck. H reverse. If our opponent drops a colonnade, we actually might be able to profitably use this dismember. Is this going off? I think it is. I believe it's been long enough. Oh, wow, it actually hasn't. There's still a turn left. Okay. Ancestral Vision is kind of scary in this spot. Not having a counter for it is a little lame. And, it's really going to hurt when they get it. Because they're going to draw 3 cards, and we probably won't be able to deal with that. Assuming they can't deal with Mandrills, we're going to knock them down to 7. Bulk can put them to 4. They can tech edge our red source. And then, well, it isn't great after that. We don't have a red source. Our opponent's at 4. We don't even have the extra bolts. Misty. That's our replacement red source. We're going to hold that, though, because there's not really a reason to play it. Main deck Blood Moon would be really great, given that they got us all of our basics. We're going to try to punch them in the face for 4. They missed a land drop. That's good news for us. Bad news for them. We don't really have anything else to do, so let's let them do things. Well, they took 4. That's good. That is a good sign. However, now we're in for some stuff. 3 cards, plus the draw step. They're going up to a full grip. I wonder if I should bolt them now. Play around some counter spells. Bolt's not really likely to get any better as far as the likelihood of resolving goes. Do we bolt now? That's a really good question, Self. Yeah, let's upkeep bolt. They do know about the dismember, so we can't exactly pretend we can put them very low, but they are dead to Mandrills if they have absolutely nothing. So that's good. If they just drew a bunch of counter spells, then they're in trouble. They did find their 4th land for the verdict, though, so looks like we're in it for the long haul now. That's fine. And we have a game. Goif. Well, we're going to get him in under counter spells. And I don't mind pretending I have stuff. So we're going to leave the red and the blue up. Snapcaster Mage, the fourth path. I believe they have... I don't know how many Snapcaster Mages blue-white actually plays. I think it's somewhere between 2 and 4. I don't think they play only the 1. Tech Edge pretty much means that this is straight blue-white, and they're not just color screwed. Trying to think of anything relevant for going into Game 2. Think Twice is usually common in Esper decks. Tech Edge plus Ghost Quarter screams not a splash. Let's untap. We could be facing down a Cryptic, although usually that would happen before draw. We're going to attack before casting the Serum Visions, because there's no need to let a potential Cryptic tap Goyf and counter the Visions. That's just an easy way to get 2 for 1 and lose tempo. Cryptic, at least its base 2 for 1 mode, draws them a card. They get card advantage, but they lose the tempo off of the Serum Visions. I always say that I like Serum Visions in the late game because it's great in top deck mode, and I don't want this getting countered. There's the Cryptic. That's going to happen. They're going to tap all of their blue. Now I believe they're just bouncing and drawing. That is mode 4, mode 2. We can't really see it, but I'm 90% sure it's bounce draw. They bounced it, and they probably drew. Now if we hit a lightning bolt off of Visions, I don't know if we actually want it. I kind of want to save the Misty still because we're out of basics, so we're going to need it to get whatever colors we end up needing. There is an argument for playing the Goyf before the Visions. Tarfire puts them down to 2. I don't know how good that is. I can't have Goyf and Charm unless I play the Rainforest. But then we're opened up to land hate, and if they really want to get around it, they can. Mana Leak seems bad at this point. We're not really playing around their top decks. I just want to produce as many questions for them to answer as possible so that they run out of answers. Do we want Tarfire? It's probably not going to grow the Goyf, really, because Goyf's good on its own already. But if we find a second one or a Bolt, they're dead, so we're going to leave it. Let's just play this Goyf. And that's going to be the turn. They can take us off of mana for the turn with Ghost Quarter, but that's probably fine. It's not like we're holding up anything besides a Dismember anyways. And Dismember's basically just here, for this matchup at least, to deal with Colonnades. Spreading Seas, sure. Tarfire is still live because of the Misty Rainforest. They're drawing more cards. I'm tempted to think that they're using Spreading Seas here as a cantrip, and they don't care too much. They had to have just drawn into that Cryptic, right? Because if you know that you have a Cryptic in hand, and you have the one Spreading Seas, you take out the Forest and then bounce the Goyf, right? That makes sense? I can't imagine you would do that any other way. They're tapped out, so we can get this Tarfire off without a hitch. But I'm thinking Goyf plus Simic Charm seems good, assuming they don't have Cryptic Command or Snap Cryptic Command, because they're at 6 mana. I do want Goyf. I don't know if I want Simic Charm. If I don't want to cast Simic Charm, I can use this Tarfire, but I might not want that either. Playing the Tarfire at sorcery speed gets around some amount of counters, although I don't think this build of blue-white plays a lot of counters anyways. I do think I want to use this at this point, and I am going to shove a burn spell at them. Stomping Ground seems good. Tarfire. This will let Goyf survive Double Bolt, and it gets us around counter spells, for the short term at least. If they ever tap out again, don't take out our Stomping Ground, and we draw a Bolt effect, they're dead. It's not much, but I think it adds up enough that that Tarfire was a good idea. Apparently, I don't have the art for this prairie stream. Some sort of promo, I guess. That is a blue-white dual land from Battle for Zendikar. How much are they Sphinx's Revelationing for? The whole thing? No. Oh, they're trying to draw into a Path to Exile. That's funny. That is fantastic. X equals 3. Sure. Do they have it? I'll put the Prairie Stream text on the right again for anyone who doesn't know what it does. They didn't find their 1-mana answer, so they scooped. For people who didn't see the video I did yesterday, although it was yesterday for me, these are probably all going to come out in one shot for you guys. Narnum Renegade is currently in our deck as a one-of over the second Snapcaster Mage. I am testing it out because a few people on MTG Salvation think it's quite good in the deck. They like it against Death's Shadow and Eldrazi, which are fairly common right now. So it's, I'm assuming, just a meta call, but maybe they like it enough that they would keep it just in general. I don't think it's as good as the first Snapcaster Mage, and it may very well not be better than the second Snapcaster Mage, but we'll hopefully get a decent enough sample size to find out over whatever stretch of time that this is in the deck for. Dismember was awful, probably because it's just generally awful, so I don't really want it. Blood Moon seems amazing. Mountain is good because of Path. Surgical Extraction, they have Snapcaster Mages. Explosive seems bad. Pyroclasm's bad. Huntmaster is a threat they can ramp us into. Adds threat density. I don't know about these two. The Artifact and Enchantment Hate. Excuse me. So, with Revelry, we can also hit Spreading Seas, which is nice. Ancient Grudge is probably not going to come in because it's a lot more narrow than Spreading Seas. So then Revelry, I think I do want the Revelry because it also hits Rest in Peace, which they might bring in. Although with Blood Moon and Huntmaster, we're going to be at least somewhat resilient to Graveyard Hate. Let's see how we do it. Do I want Curiosity? They have many, many ways to remove our threats. We'll get back to that. It also helps with Delirium. I like Curiosity a lot. We're going to take out Thought Scours. Probably a Mandrills as well. It's highly likely that we're going to have enough interaction back and forth that we can land a Mandrills without too much help. These aren't blue. Disrupting Shoal was good that game, but I don't think we can afford to play it. We're going to cut the Vapor Snag because they don't run many creatures. Simic Charm does the same thing, pretty much, for higher cost, but it also is much more versatile, and probably one Mana Leak. We're on the draw. Mana Leak's going to get I actually don't want all of these bolts, so let's bring a Thought Scour back. I don't like having all of the bolts against decks without many boltable creatures. That's probably pretty good. 3 Scours, 1 Mandrills out. We have the one of Revelry. Let's try it out. On the draw. This hand is interesting to say the least. I think it's pretty keepable outside of the fact that it makes Blood Moon really bad. So we're going to keep it. We have 3 threats, so that's a start. They start with an Ancestral Vision. I believe we just want to start with Delver because it will clock way faster than the Renegade will, and it also, Delver's better the earlier you can play it because it has a higher chance of flipping over time. Renegade's better when you play it with Revolt. Makes sense to me. I want to start with the Steam Vents in case they have turn 2 Spreading Seas. I apparently clicked through my first main phase, but that's okay. We're not attacking. We do have a land to play. I always get really nervous when that happens on my opponent's turn, because I'm never sure if they kept a really risky hand and just don't have a land drop, or if they misclicked. In this case, we misclicked. So I like Steam Vents first. If they have a turn 2 Spreading Seas right here, we get to go Breeding Pool Goyf, which is nice. They're holding up Interaction, it looks like. So we may not end up slamming this Goyf. We're going to start off with seeing if we can hit for some amount. If we can, it's going to be for 3, so that's good. Them having basics and us not having basics makes Blood Moon really, really bad. We don't currently have a Blood Moon, though, so it's not too bad for us. I'm going to shock, just in case I decide I want to do some Simic Charming during combat. If they do remove the Delver, Renegade could get bigger. So that's a non-zero possible benefit. Cool. They take 3. I'm always happy when the opponent takes 3. I'm less happy when they have 2 basics, because that means they're not taking as much damage. Now, I would like to get a little more damage before the first Supreme Verdict hits, so I would like to play a second of these threats. It's probably going to be the Delver, because I don't really want to waste the Goyf. The bonus to playing Delver, I think we're going to start with the red land, because who knows, maybe they do something funky and I slam Renegade. Do we hold up Denial, or do we go for Visions? Probably just Visions. We'll just do some gassing up now. Hold Denial for when we have a big fat Goyf. They negate our visions. That's probably perfectly fine. Hopefully it's perfectly fine. Ancestral Vision is ticking down on us again, but I'm hoping, sort of like last time where we were able to power through it anyways, I'm hoping we can just deal with it. They haven't played a white source yet, which means unless they have a filter land, another Delver flips. Unless they have a filter land, they won't be able to verdict. We're not going to play into that possibility, though, because if I was our opponent, I would very happily hold my filter land in hand until they play out all of their threats so I can get them. I don't want to get got, so we're not going to do that. Our opponent also has quite the clock coming at them. Do we want to hold up Simic Charm? Probably not. I really like just Visions again. Use the red source, we might end up playing Renegade, who knows? We got another land. I want Goyf, I also want Leak. Keep both. Which do I want first? I already have a Goyf. I guess we'll put Leak on top. Play this Rainforest and just pass the turn. Hold up some interaction. Seems good. Ancestral Vision should have one more counter. One left, yes. Bottom right lets us know. They may have just been color screwed. I really don't know. I don't think I want to do anything. The top of our deck is quite good. Pretty much nothing besides Supreme Verdict scares me right now. We're going to put our opponent down to 5. If I really want, we can go for 2. Do I want to go for the Simic Charm? It means that a lot of things are bad for them, but then it makes it a lot easier for them to come back. Assuming they have a bunch of counter spells for the eventual bolts we'll draw. I think we're just going to put them down to 5, make them answer it. Now, if they do draw enough to go filter Verdict, how bad is that for us? Because I'm thinking, what if we fetch out something, say a basic forest, and play this Renegade? That way, even if they have a path, they're dead. I like that. Let's play around one removal spell. Let's play this Renegade. Go to end step, we'll hold up Leak or Charm. I'm being careful. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter because I don't have a fourth land, but I'm being cognizant of this tech edge because I don't want to turn it on. They're going to draw a bunch of cards. That is okay. I can't exactly counter it. If we went, no, Goyf isn't even a 4. It's not a 4/5, so can't deny that. They're going up to 8 cards. Do they have what they need is the question. Because unless they have Filter Land plus Verdict, they're going to be hard-pressed to answer this board. And if they do have it, I'm going to play Goyf and have some stuff up. They didn't have it. That was pretty nice. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Probably going to hop into another game right now. Although, once again, for you guys, that doesn't really matter. You get them on demand, assuming I've actually uploaded them by the time you go to watch. But, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you stick around, have some fun, watch some Delver, and we'll just do magic.